So today we're going to take you through the steps of placing a matrix band. So for your setup, you'll need a matrix band, a paper pad, your matrix retainer, your wedges, a Mylar strip, cotton pliers, ball burnisher, explorer, and mirror. So the first step is that you want to take your matrix band and place it on top of the paper pad and take your ball burnisher, the large part of your ball burnisher, and smooth out the middle portion of your band. Once you've completed that step, you'll pick up your matrix band and you will fold it in half. Before you do that, you want to ensure that you have a smile and not a frown. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're looking at a smile. Then you want to take the two ends and you want to fold it together so that they're even. Then you want to take your matrix band and ensure that you're looking at the slots and the diagonal slots. You want to take the end of your matrix band and place it into the slots. Guide the band through with just a little bit sticking out of the end of the diagonal slot so that the screw has enough band to hold on to. Okay, then you want to decide whether or not you're working on in quadrant 1, 2, 3, or 4. So toward the right would be quads 1 and 3, and toward the left would be quads 2 and 4. Once you've decided where you need to be working, and in my case it's quadrant 4 where my cavity prep is, you'll hold it down in place and then tighten the outer knob. Okay. To increase the size of the band, you will take the inner knob and slide it down. So you can see that my band is increasing in size. Okay, it will depend on what tooth you're working on in the mouth, whether it's a premolar or a molar. Okay, then you're going to take the end of your mirror and you're going to smooth and open up the matrix band to prepare it to slide over top of the tooth. When you're placing the matrix band in the mouth, you want to make sure that the diagonal slot is facing toward the gingiva, and it's always facing the retainer is also always facing the buccal side. So you'll take the matrix band and place it over top of the tooth. Hold your finger on top to keep it secure, and then you will use the inner knob to tighten the band snugly around the tooth. Sometimes the band will get caught on the cavity prep, and if that happens, remove it from the mouth, smooth it out again, and then try and place it into the mouth again. Once it's tightened and on securely, you will take your wedges, and you can see a triangular shape of your wedges. You want that flat side to be against the gingiva. In this case, we have a cavity prep that's on the mesial and distal and occlusal, so we need to place a wedge both in the mesial and the distal. If you just had an MO, it would be in the mesial. If you just had a DO, it would be in the distal only. So once I've placed the wedges in place, I've secured them in place by pushing them into the contact areas. The matrix band is ready to be used, and the filling material can now be placed by the dentist. To remove the band, the first step is to place your finger on top of the band to hold it in place, and then use the outer knob to loosen the retainer. You're going to pull the retainer up so that it detaches itself from the band, and then you'll remove the band next. Because it's an MOD, I could just choose the area in which I want to remove first. If it's just a two-surface filling, you want to remove it in the area that doesn't have the fresh filling material. So I'm going to move it from the distal and then mesial. And the last step, which is the most important step to remember, is that the wedges come out last. So you don't want to take the wedges out before you remove the band. So that concludes how to put a matrix band on. Now we're going to show you how to put a clear Mylar strip in the anterior area. I'm just going to adjust the chair a little bit here. So the 1-1 has a mesiolingual prep. So you take your Mylar strip, okay, it's usually double this in length. You're going to cut it in half. You're going to place it in the area where the cavity prep is prepared. Okay, so the cavity prep is on the mesiolingual of that 1-1. Then you're going to fold the Mylar strip around the tooth. You're going to take your wedge and place it in the interproximal area with the flat side toward the gingiva. Okay, now that's ready for the material to be placed and then held in place for it to be light cured. Once it's all light cured, it's ready to be removed. You take the Mylar strip out first, and then the matrix, and then the wedge. And that concludes putting on a matrix band and putting on a Mylar strip and removing a Mylar strip.